What is going on, Sabres fans? Welcome to another episode of the Sabres Spotlight podcast with your host, Matt and Ryan. Ryan, what's going on?
What is up, guys? Not a lot going on. Well, actually, I lied. A lot's going on. You know, what a great week of Christmas we had, and it's always nice to see the family and friends and all that kind of stuff, and have Santa come. So that's always fun. What's up with you, my guy?
Not too much, man. Not too much. I was hoping the Sabres would be able to give us some extra presents this Christmas season. And I don't know. Well, we were just talking about it before we started. Like, we were 1-1-1 when since we last recorded. And that's not even that bad given the teams that we've played. But, like, it just feels so bad.
Well, it's insane because like every loss just feels catastrophic at this point. Like I think we were just talking about it. They need to go like something like 30, 13, and 3 in their last like back half of the schedule in order to get to even 95 points. And this is a team that hasn't strung together two victories in a row since November 1st. So I don't think
That's.
playoffs are happening, guys. I don't think playoffs are happening. Oh, and I got a visitor.
Oh,
My
let's
dog
go. Is
came.
that Mur?
My dog came to visit me. So hey, that's some good vibes for the
Well,
beginning of
we
the
gotta
episode.
get we gotta get an update on him, anyways, in a minute, because I know you
Okay.
you mentioned last week, with his surgery and stuff. But yeah, I was gonna say before we get to that and intros and stuff and whatnot, I was gonna say like yeah, the problem is right now with the Sabres, it's like the scar tissue is just so deep right now because of like them not being able to like ever win a back to back. Like they did it once, but it was like so long ago. Where it's like even if they ripped off like four in a row, the second they lost one more game, I'd be like, oh fuck. I'm like, here we go again. It's just gonna be win because it's just like the scar tissue right now is just so deep.
And you can really sense it like in the fan base too. Like go on Twitter for like a second. It is just so like the vibes, and I'm not gonna lie, I'll contribute to it because I'm feeling so negative right now. But it is just like it's inherently toxic. Like it really feels like the season is truly over before the new year, and that sucks considering where we were last year.
Oh, dude, Twitter is absolutely horrible right now. Like, if I know the players don't look at that, I hope they don't, because I'm like, I'm pretty sure they would like not want to take the ice if they saw what people were saying on Twitter. Maybe they do. I don't know, but I'd be like, oh my god, Twitter is just like roasting them.
Have you seen like even Don Granado's like anytime he does any media or like an in-game interview or like a press conference, dude, he looks like and sounds like he hasn't slept in weeks. Like he and when you got a guy that's so beaten down like that as your coach, like how do you think that's translating to the players, you know? Like they got to
Yeah.
just be I don't know. I don't know what happened this summer. I know that like Adams didn't really provide him with like an optimal lineup, but my God, I just feel like they're just feeling so much pressure on themselves, and it's like you guys haven't even sniffed a playoff berth. Like, what do you think is going to happen? Like, if you eventually do get good, and you're expected to like win rounds, like that's the crazy part to me, how like mentally fragile they are already.
Yeah, that's what's really tough to see because like I mean we know Granado has some stuff going on in his personal life and whatnot, and I mean to be fair, like I'm sure everybody does, like everybody is working through something and has some shit going
Yep.
on. You don't know that, but it's different now. Like I totally understand what you're saying because like when you listen to him, like I've always been kind of hard on him and always said that I don't think he knows what he's like talking about, how to answer questions and stuff. But like now, on top of that, you can just see like the dejection in his face and just like he's got it's like no affect. And like you said, yeah, it looks like he like hasn't slept in days. And it's like I don't know what he's doing because he's clearly not scheming up offense or something. So I don't know. It must just be binge watching TV shows or something.
And I get like there's a part of the media that's saying like, oh, it's not all on the coach, it's on the players. The players got to perform like, and we're gonna talk about certain guys in this episode that are just they need to have to look in the mirror because what they're doing on the ice is just ineffective. But you got to start somewhere, and the coach is like the easiest part to get rid of. I actually found a post from when he had his contract extension, and he's not making much money. Like I thought he was making like a pretty decent salary, but if we wanted to get rid of him, he's only making about $2 million a season.
Yeah,
So
I
he's
was just
very
gonna.
easily you can gas him whenever you want. I mean, it's really up to like how patient they really want to be with him, and I think patience is wearing thin.
Patience is definitely wearing thin, and then I don't know how that even works with coaches. I'm sure it's like different depending on contracts and whatnot. Like, is that just something like if he's owed 2 mil, is it just like up to Pagula, like if he wants to just kind of pay him out at once, or
Yeah,
just like over time or whatnot?
it's over the time. So his contract, I think he got extended into like the 25-26 season, so he'd get money like until his contract is over.
Oh, got it. I'm on cap
But it's
friendly right
fucking
now in
2 million a
Canadian.
season. Like that's nothing, dude.
Yeah, he's making 1.9. Yeah,
Is it? Oh, is that available on the internet? I had no idea.
yeah, you can see it on cap friendly. Yeah.
Oh shit! Well, shout out to Cat Friendly. I didn't know they had coaches' salaries on there.
Yeah, so like if you search Sabres and you're at their like homepage, you
Yeah,
can like right down the middle. There's like it says like general manager and then head coach, and if you click on the name, like I wonder if it shows Kevin Adams. Like,
I don't think so.
let's
I don't think it
see.
shows him.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not showing me
It's
his
it's
salary.
unusual. I think it's unusual that Granato's salary is known. I don't think that's a normal thing.
Yeah, it's interesting because I click, like I say, you click on it and it shows you right there. Yeah, season coach contract value 3.8 for 2 years, 1.9 a year.
Yeah, see, that's
Got
not
extended on October 12th,
that's like nothing,
22.
dude. Like I was a little nervous. I'm like, yeah, he's probably making 4 million. That's a lot of cash to swallow. He's making less than half that. Like that gives me more optimism from like a management and owner perspective, where if it's clear that it's still not working out, like they can just axe him, whatever, get a new guy here in the off season. It's come to that, I think, honestly. And I didn't we didn't really think that he was going to be the guy to lead us, past the development point anyway. It just sucks that it's coming down to like this right now.
Yeah, it's tough because, like I said, you could just tell on him. Like I don't know. I mean, it's tough to lose a job, and I know these coaches take jobs knowing that they're going to get fired one day, and that is like every coach does that. But I mean, the Sabres they're losing it. They're losing it. But we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit.
I know, yeah, I know.
We
We
got
jumped
right
right
into it.
we jumped straight into the Sabres talk, which is insane because of how like just dejecting it is to even talk about them. Like I think I tweeted yesterday just fucking move the team, even though I didn't mean that like at all. So let's get back into like some happy stuff right now.
Yeah. So we're gonna try and I mean we're gonna obviously have Sabres talk on this show, but we got a lot of other stuff that we want to kind of talk about today too. Just kind of do some Halloween or not Halloween.
Halloween, what the
Sabres got
fuck?
us all. Sabres got us all messed up. We'll do our Christmas stuff, and we got some New Year stuff that we want to get to. But let's do intros first. What's new? What's going on with you, man? You
All
said
right.
you had some stuff going on.
Yeah, so my dog Murray, amazing dog. Everyone that knows him, he's the smiliest, cutest dog in the world, and he had a surgery last week to remove some like bumps and like some other like shit in his mouth and had a tooth removed because it was damaged. And he is doing great. We don't know what it was. They're gonna test it and like call us back. But I mean, he's acting like nothing happened. Like I wonder if like the tooth that was damaged, like you know, getting that taken out like had some relief for him. So no, he's just acting like a normal puppy, and I guess we'll find out what it is and and go from there. But he looks great and he's acting great, so that like is a huge weight off my shoulders.
Is he still down there with you?
No, he came upstairs.
I was gonna say next time he goes down there, you got to get him on the camera so we can
I know
see
we
him.
need a Murray cam.
Yeah, we should. We need our tech guys to
uh,
start working on that shit.
but hey, besides that, we just had like I went to I gotta this might be a controversial take, and this is coming from
Let's go.
someone.
Let's go.
This is coming from some like I'm going to feel very ungrateful saying this, I think.
Oh god.
So, we don't have kids at home, so we're expected to be at every party. Like, I don't know how it is for you packing up both kids for every fucking party or how many parties you got to go to, but listen, I had to go to 4 separate parties and I still have to exchange with one part of my family and I haven't done it yet. Dude, fuck that. Like whenever we have kids, I'm picking 2 parties, going to those two. The other people can just like whatever. I'm not seeing you. Like I'm sorry.
Oh
It was
yeah.
just way too much driving to go to like
Yeah.
4 parties in 2 days. My no kids at home people are gonna be like nodding their head and being like, yeah, yeah. This sucks going to so many parties, even though I'm grateful for seeing my family. Like I love them all. But my
Yeah.
God, I needed Tuesday to just like recharge, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, with the like, it takes so long to get the kids together. Like, I feel like I'm
Yeah.
packing up now for like shit we're gonna do like this upcoming weekend. But like, but it is good to see the fam. But I'm much like, especially around the holidays. Like, I don't know. I'm much more like. I love all my family members and my extended family, but I just like the holiday time for me. It's just like I just want to like be like with my immediate family, just like
Yep.
maximize as much
Yep.
time as I
Smaller.
can with them.
Smaller.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's just like anything else. Like the more there is, like or the more cooks in the kitchen, like stuff like that, those cliche sayings, like it just loses a little bit of its intimacy. And I just like the world's crazy nowadays. It's absolutely crazy. And so I really appreciate the slowdown and just getting to spend the time with the family. So
Like we had to do like multiple Secret Santas, and it's like holy fuck, like it got kind of expensive. And like shout out to my parents and my wife's parents, like dude, we're 31 years old. Like we don't need to be spoiled like we
yeah,
are, but man,
yeah,
they like went all out for Christmas again, and it's just like I feel loved every time, and it's it's,
yeah.
it's not like the gifts that like really matter, but it's like the thought that they're like, oh, we got to get you this, and like you've said you like this, so I'll get you this. I don't know, but our families rock, but it's just like, god damn, there's so many fucking parties.
Dude. All right, so I got a quick funny story about this. So like we went to my mom and dad's for Christmas, and we have my grandma and grandpa come over as well. And
Yep.
so we're opening up gifts, and my mom is the same way. Like she spoils everybody, like even me and Katie, like all of us, my sister and her husband, my brother-in-law Eric. So like
Shout out
she
Eric.
gets us. Yeah, shout out Eric. So she gets everyone so much shit, and the kids get insane amounts. And so I
Oh,
told her,
dude, your kids got to be fucking spoiled.
oh my god, they got so much shit. So, but I told my mom this year, I'm like, because I know she goes crazy. I'm like, Mom, I'm like, I don't want a lot. I'm like, just get me, because I'm like, just give me 3 or 4 things, like whatever you want to do. Like, I just want to be able to open my shit quick, and then just like watch the kids and whatnot, or watch
Yep.
everybody else. I love even like watching my parents open their shit or my grandparents. So she actually did. This is if she still got more than I wanted, but I was like, okay, this is still better than what you've done. But the reason I tell the story is because my grandmother, like, as you get older, you have absolutely no filter, and like
Oh, of course, of course.
it just happens naturally, right? So, and I love my grandmother, but so we're like we're opening up gifts, and she's sitting there on the chair and she's watching all of us, and it's not like she even said anything inappropriate. She's just sitting there, and like Riley is opening her stuff, and my niece Maeve is opening her stuff, and like she just kept saying like Rose is to the listeners don't know this, but
Yeah,
my
yeah.
mom's name is Rose, and she would go, Rose, oh my gosh, look at this, there's too much stuff, the kids don't even care anymore, they're not even into it anymore. And like it was just like these like little comments that like weren't like rude, she didn't mean anything by it, but I could just tell that they were like kind of bothering my mom a little bit. And so I called my mom at the end of the night. I was like, hey, just so you know, like, I just want to say thank you for like all the stuff.
Yeah.
Like I know you got us a lot, and I'm very grateful for that. And I know you only got us a lot because you obviously want to spoil your grandkids and whatnot. I'm never gonna say to her you got too much, because then it makes her feel bad. Like no, she's
Oh,
doing
I
what she
know
wants to.
exactly. You can't say that. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, dude, like, even with our like, shout out Rose, just like, oh, dude, you know what's funny? And this happened with us. Like, I bet you that like your dad has no idea what you guys get for Christmas, and then he finds out like as you guys open it,
oh
because
yeah,
that
I don't know
like
what half the people get. Katie gets it all.
exactly, dude. Wait, I'm not gonna lie. So this must be like a male to female thing because this year I promised we're gonna get into New Year's resolutions. I'm saying on the podcast right now, my New Year's resolution for 2024 is to help my wife with the Christmas shopping. That's one of them. Because holy fuck, man. I felt like it was so overwhelming, and I'm like, and then all these other women are saying the same shit that like their husband doesn't pay attention to the Christmas gifts, and I'm like, all right, we got to do something about this because I had no idea what we bought people this year, nor
Yep.
did I wrap any of them. So I feel like that has that has to change.
So you know what my step was with that this year? So that's always historically me too. Like I never know what we
Yep.
get people. So I told Katie this year, I'm like, listen, like I'm probably not gonna do any shopping. I'm like, but this time around, I'm like, when you buy something, just tell me what you bought and like who's it for, so I at least know. And I feel like we did that most of the time. Like, but there's still a lot of shit that I didn't know. But she definitely like told me more this year. Um, which was cool. But she definitely did not tell me all this shit we got Riley, because she had like 30 things, and I just don't think she wanted me to know how much money she was spending.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious. Yeah, exactly. The Amazon was going crazy this year.
Oh my god, Amazon was going nuts this year. You guys
Jeff,
deliver
I think.
Amazon too?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I
yeah.
I feel like we like our wives line Jeff Bezos's pockets like personally this year.
Dude, he makes, what's the stat I saw? He makes like whatever it
I
is,
don't
like
fucking
sixty
know.
thousand dollars every second or something.
Every second, yeah. God damn.
Just absolutely nuts, absolutely nuts. All right, well, you got anything else for intros?
No, just a little Christmas talk here. That's all I really had this week. I'm on vacation, so I've just been resting at home, relaxing. So that's been great.
I got I got just two quick things here. So I got, well, I told you already, but it sucks because I got two sick kids at home. So I got my little one Owen has RSV, which he's doing pretty good, and I feel like this is like day 3 for him. But we took him to the doc and they did a quick test. It's kind of like a COVID test, really. They're just like kind of like little
Yeah.
swab up the nose. The lady was like, comes back like 10 minutes later. She's like, "Oh yeah, it is." They're like, just keep an eye on him. Most people don't need, or most infants and children don't need hospitalizations as long as he's breathing okay. And he's
Yeah.
doing pretty good. He's sleeping right now, but then Riley had an ear infection, so that was, we took her like 2 weeks ago for that, and she was still like, which is kind of cool because like she's finally at the age where she can tell us when shit is wrong. So like she was just
Oh
like
my God.
random
Yeah.
one day, and she's just like, I can't hear. She was saying like my mouth hurts. I'm like, that's not
Holy fuck.
normal.
Really? Oh my God. That's
Yeah,
scary.
so she said that like 2 days in a row. So we were like, okay, something's going on here.
I
We
can't hear is terrifying to hear.
I know. So that's when we took her in. They were like, "Oh, yep, she's got an ear infection." And then she was like, we started giving her like the antibiotics, amoxicillin and whatnot, and it worked for, it was fine for like the week she was on it, and then she started saying it again. So we took her back, and now she's on this like heavier dose. But it's just been like a mess with the kids and
Oh
them
my
being
God.
sick. But it feels like it always happens this time of year. So.
Oh yeah, around the holidays, you got to be careful with that. That's like the scariest thing, especially when it comes to the little ones.
Well, so Katie's funny now because she's like, now that like Owen's like officially diagnosed with RSV, she's like every like 10 minutes, she's like, "Is he breathing okay? Is he breathing?" And I'm like, "Babe, if we never took him to the doctor and got," I'm like, "you would think it's just another cold." But I mean, I get it,
Oh, I
but
bet.
it's just
No,
like, "Did
yeah,
you
of
see
course,
that?
knowing
Is he
Katie,
wheezing?"
like,
I'm like, "No, he's fine."
knowing Katie, she's gonna be a worrywart because she's so loving and stuff. But damn, oh, that's horrible, man. I'm sorry.
The only other thing I got here is, and I actually haven't told you this yet. This is brand new. I don't know what made me want to start doing this, but, well, actually, no, that's a lie. I do know what made me want to start doing this, but I am officially undergoing the task of trying to train Belle, my dog Belle, to let us cut her nails.
Okay, okay. Why?
Does Murray let you cut his nails?
No, we take him we take him somewhere.
But like, if you wanted to, would he sit still and let you, or would he flip?
No, definitely not.
Okay, so so we've been taking her in, but I mean, you know my dog, like she's literally like just a little ball of anxiety. So like, if anytime she goes anywhere, she's just like she works herself up like crazy. And
Oh yeah.
so when we take her to, if we take her, historically we'll go to our veterinarian and have them cut her nails. And anytime we take her, we have to like go before and pick up this medicine just to like dope her up a little bit so she's not like crazy before. But
Yeah, she's
our
nuts in the car, dude. She's crazy.
yeah, she's crazy. And then when we get there, she's just so like nervous and anxious, and she's not like aggressive at all. She'll never like bite anybody. She's just scared. And our vet's in Hamburg, so that's not super convenient for us.
Oh God,
So
yeah.
we don't really do that because I'm in Cheektowaga. So now we've been taking her to this gussied up grooming. I think you go there too, and they're
No, we don't go there
fine.
anymore. We
Oh, you
don't
don't
go
go
there
there anymore?
anymore. No, we used to. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Like off camera, but we liked them there. We liked them there. We liked them there.
So they were fine too. They were fine too. But it's so funny because like I don't know what it was, but the last time I took Belle, there was a sign on the door, and as soon as I saw it, I knew this was going to happen. There's a sign on the door that says, "At our discretion, we're able to charge like an extra $10 for a nail trim if like they have to use like excessive force or like try and control the dog with like extra."
Whoa, really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so Belle's usually fine. Like I tell them, I'm like, I'm like, she's very particular about her paws. Like she's gonna try and nip at you. Like she won't bite you. I'm like, but she's gonna try and nip at you. So just put a muzzle on her. So they've always historically have muzzled her, no problem. So I just tell them flat out, I'm like, just muzzle her. But this time when we went, I swear to God, the sign was an omen because I get her up there and they muzzle her just fine. But then she was like freaking out more than like, and I'm like got my arm around her. I'm like sweating,
Yeah,
trying to like
yeah,
hold her
because
and
you
shit.
stand next to your dog there. It's like,
Yeah,
goddamn.
yeah. So I'm like, you know what? When we left, it was just a bad experience overall, and they ended up not charging me. The lady asked the owner.
Yeah,
She's
I
like,
mean,
oh,
they're
okay.
very sweet. They're very nice people that work there.
Well, they asked, and they were like, she looked at the owner, and she's like, because the owner was right there the whole time when she was watching this whole debacle, and she's like, oh, should I charge the extra $10? And she goes, no, don't. I'm like, all right, good.
The
I'm
owner
like, if
is
you
like
did,
one of
I
the
would never
nicest
fucking come
people.
back anyways.
She's like she's like one of the nicest people. She's fantastic. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. Oh, that sucks, man.
But dude, you know how I
Poor
am.
Belle.
Like
Yep.
I'm that person. I am the
Oh, you're
complainer or
vindictive. You're fucking you're send food back guy. You're fucking review guy. Yeah, we know. We know you.
review guy. I'm the bad review guy every time you see me in the comments. No, so yeah, so that's why. So now I just started. So I did I trimmed 5 nails tonight myself successfully, which
and
was
she was okay.
it took some coaxing. Like I had some treats and stuff, and it was just a lot of me like trying to like talk to her and keep her calm. But like I mean, she did okay, yeah. So I think it'll get better as we go, but we'll see.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. So all right, let's just do shout outs real quick, and then we can get into the kind of the content of the episode. You got any shout outs here today?
I don't have any. I don't have any.
All right, I
What do you got?
have. Dude, I'll be quick with them because I have three. I have three. First shout out
Jesus fuck.
is first shout out is your aunt, and I have this all ready for us.
Oh, let's go.
For everyone watching on
There it
YouTube or
is.
Spotify, this is the shit we're talking about every episode.
That
If you can,
is. It's graham crackers, chocolates, and marshmallows all together.
this stuff is amazing, and this beautiful lady brought me an entire pan or made me an entire pan, and I've just been crushing it. I'm about halfway through, but I told Kaden when you brought it to me, it was like over the weekend, and so we've had it for a
Yeah.
handful of days. I'm like, I'm saving some for the show because I need to show the listeners what this stuff looks like.
Yeah. Okay. So shout out Aunt Lisa. Shout out Aunt Lisa. Shout out Dylan. He listens to the podcast. That's my cousin.
We always gotta
That's
shout
fun.
out Dylan. He's on.
That's
He's
fun.
like, he's on a streak. He's like the shout out streak. Just like
That's
he'll
awesome.
never miss an episode. I gotta shout out Dwayne on Twitter because
Yep.
Dwayne I believe his name is Steinel. I've he's shared a couple of our posts and he's been I know like kind of like in the Sabres world content stuff for a while and he obviously shared the links to our last episode as well. So it's always nice when people share your stuff and help get the word out. And he's interacted with us a little bit more. So shout out to him. I don't know if you listened to his podcast. All he's got
I
the
have not.
two goalies, one mic,
Two goalies, one
show.
mic. Yeah, I have not.
Yeah, I'll have to
He
listen
got
to it because I
you
haven't.
know how he started. You know how he got like recognition. Do you know like the backstory with him?
No.
Okay, so I think it was the year that Kruger got fired. We lost like 17 in a row. He called into GR and ranted for like 5 to 10 minutes, just screaming into the microphone, and everyone picked it up. Like it was on Chiclets, it was everywhere.
You might have,
So then he
yeah,
started.
you might have sent this to me.
So then he started like his content creation game, and he's got like a following and now. So that's kind of cool. But man, yeah, he started. The fucking Sabres being bad could be good for us.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows?
Because look at what it did for Dwayne.
So shout out to Dwayne because he's thrown a little support our way, and it's
Yeah,
cool. It's
that's
cool
super cool. That
chatting
is
with
super cool.
other people in the community. And then my last shout out, real quick, I sent it to you. I don't know if you had a chance to listen, but I used to work with this kid, and he's got a band called Strangers in Suits. And I know he's a big hockey fan as well. This kid, he actually does some like refereeing. Like I think he's like I forget what he does exactly, but this kid I used to treat just like really cool kid. Me and
What's his
him.
name?
Well, I can't say that for like
Oh, okay.
HIPAA reasons and stuff. I
Oh, okay.
gotta
Okay. Okay.
maintain that.
Okay.
But the band name is Strangers in Suits, and
Okay.
they're like a I don't know if you listen like 1985, kind of like an
Yeah.
indie type vibe. Like I feel like there's hints and notes of like some EDM in there, but like the album is sick. They got one album. It's probably on Spotify. I listen to Apple Music, but yeah, if anyone out there is looking for some new music, Strangers in Suits, check them out. It was a good album. So
All right, sick, man. Shout out to Strangers in Suits.
all right, ready for what do we want to do? We get into Saber stuff here now. We'll try and
Yeah,
blitz through
yeah.
that and then get some stuff done
Let's get
after.
into it. 25 minutes in, half hour in. Yeah, we sprinkled a little Don talk in there, but let's start talking about this team.
Yeah, we don't need to elaborate on Don too much. Everyone kind of knows the situation with that. Unless you want to talk about his idiotic comment he made about the analytics.
Oh man. Well, let's talk about the games first, and then we can talk about that after we talk about the loss we just had.
All right, so 1-1-1 since we recorded last week. Actually, like not horrible for the three stretch of games that we had. I mean, I think we both predicted 0-3.
I'm not predicting wins for the rest of the season. I'm just saying.
The 9-3 win at home was, I mean, that's just like the story of our season. We lose 9-4 to Columbus, and then we beat Toronto 9-3. Like, what the actual hell? And then we get a 4-3 overtime loss in Madison Square Garden, and then a 4-1 with that, and that was the UPL play at the end. Like, what was he doing? And
Just
coming
dude,
out
he's
his
done
his
that multiple times. He's done that.
yeah, he does
Like
that all the
this
time.
is the frustrating part. This is the frustrating part about the Buffalo Sabres. We play the Leafs, we pound them. Like I'm not gonna lie. Some of those goals we scored should not have been goals. I mean, Samsonov in net for them, I believe it
Yeah, it
was
was.
absolute trash garbage. Like it was disgusting how bad he was. Like if that was any of our goalies, I'd want them like relegated to the fucking DEL, like German league. But my God, we get a 9-3 win. You know, Jack Quinn comes back and scores. That was nice to see. And, like, speaking of Quinn, he looks like he hasn't missed a beat, man. He's been incredible.
Yeah, he's been good.
But that game was great. They followed it up with a pretty damn good effort against the Rangers. Like pretty good game. And we get a point and it gets ruined because Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen doesn't know to cover his post in overtime and they just like tap it in for the win. And then we have this fucking game we just had yesterday that I shut off in the first period. So look, I don't understand this team. I really don't.
Yeah, I believe the Rangers game was another slow start. Like,
It
weren't we
was,
down 2-0 in that game to start?
yeah, we were. I think we had like two shots in the first like 16 minutes of play or something like that. Like it was just, I don't know, man. It's consistent. The way they lose is just the same way every time.
Yeah, I mean, so if I had to like summarize these games, like it's like it's probably so annoying for listeners to hear me say that. Like, I'm not impressed with a 9-3 win in Toronto. Like, I guess I am, but like honestly, Toronto just like didn't give a fuck. The thing I like about that is like there was a ton of Maple Leafs fans there, which we predicted because like they just got shit on. Like, I'd sell my tickets too, and like it was pretty loud for like the minimal. Well, I won't say minimal, but like because there was definitely like a decent amount of Sabres fans there too. But like for the crowd being kind of split, I'd say like there was like you could hear the Sabres fans. Like, you could hear the fans going back and forth. So that's always fun. It just makes you want the Sabres to be good again because, like, honestly, a playoff series with those two teams would be, like, fucking insane.
I
And
know,
they always have
I
good
know.
games. But, like, again, it's just, like, I don't know. Like, especially just, like, following up that 9-4 win. It was a good, or the 9-4 loss. Like, it was a good win, but I was just, like, it's just so hard for me to get so excited about this team because then they just, like, followed up with what we had. Like, again, a good effort in New York, but then ultimately lose the game, and then the effort against Boston, which again that was a home loss to Boston, two in a row that we lose at home, and the power play is 0 for 6. So like a good game against Toronto, a fine game against the Rangers, but again just like can't get the result that you want. And then Boston just kind of pumped us, and we basically lost that game because of the power play.
Can we talk about special teams now? Like just inherently just
Yeah,
special teams?
yeah, for sure. I mean, especially because that is the reason we lost that Boston game, and we've talked about how the power play in itself has probably cost us like eight to nine games this year already.
So this game, you said that we went over six in the power play. Well, the penalty kill was one for four. So the Bruins scored the three power play goals.
Mm-hmm.
The penalty kill, man. Remember earlier in the year we were like, "Oh, this penalty kill is great. It's fantastic. Like, they're awesome. They're in the 89-90% range. Like, it's great. I'm chalking that up to goalie performance. We were getting saves at that
Yep.
point.
Yep.
The penalty kill looks horrible. Like, guys are getting open looks consistently. Like, it really is it just goes to show that like nothing really has changed since last season, besides just our offense is completely stifled because the PK is terrible. The goalies can't save a fucking beach ball, and the power play is a pumpkin. In the year, all of 2023, if you took the whole year, the Sabres power play is at 29th in the NHL. Not nearly good enough for the talent that we have. There's
Yep.
no reason to believe, and I know we were without Tage because he's out for personal reasons. I think his wife is having their baby,
Oh, nice.
so I think that's why he missed the game, and he should be back in on Saturday. But without Tage, they barely could get in the zone. I mean, they had no really real chances. It's disgustingly bad on the perimeter. Like I don't have the chart here, but I think it was Dom Lucian that might have done power play visuals. And he, how like, a lot of these analytics guys have like the four quadrants and shit, and it tells you like, upper right is good, bottom right is like more fun, like chaotic, and like the left side is bad. Well, in the bottom left side, he had teams that were perimeter teams on the power play, and whatever metric he was using, we took the most perimeter shots in the league. We don't use the bumper. Still, it has been over 2 years, and we have not done a single thing different than pass it, to Darlene at the point or to like an Olofsson or Cousins. Oh my god, I'm just awful. It's just like disgusting. Like I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what needs to change for the like power play dynamic to change because I personally think the players are too good for this. They're too good for this. Whoever specifically does power play, I know every episode we get into like we don't know, we don't hear from these assistant coaches, so we don't really know what's going on, like who teaches what. But someone has to be held accountable for this.
Yeah, I mean 100%, 100%. I want to touch on a few things in response to that. I think the as far as the accountability goes, like I'm all for making a change, but like also like we have guys on our team now that are like young leaders and have good experience. Like our core guys have good experience in the NHL. So as much as like it's on the coaches, like it's also up to those players to be like, listen, like I know you want to teach it this way, but like it's not working. And like here,
Right.
why don't we try
I
this
agree.
instead? Like maybe
I
they're
agree.
having those conversations, I don't know, but in my head, I'm like, there's no way it could be this bad and not seeing anything change for me to believe that those conversations are actually taking place. Like if I was a player like a Darlene or a Tage or I mean fuck even an Olofsson who's like probably not going to get another contract here this year, but him getting another contract is kind of dependent on him scoring some goals and he does that on power play. Like these guys should be saying like listen, this isn't working. Like let's show you what or let us show you or have some input in what we want to do and like let's do that together. I'm not sure that's happening. uh the other thing is as far as like the actual structure goes and you mentioning like all the perimeter shots and stuff like that's 100% the case and you see like there's so much time wasted just passing it around the perimeter and there's no bodies in front of the net either like just like if you're gonna shoot these perimeter shots, and Don keeps saying, "Oh, like we need shots, shots, shots." Well, like sheer volume of shots doesn't produce wins. Like you need shots that can produce some sort of rebound or that have some sort of vision, like or you have somebody in that. Like just shooting from the perimeter 50 times a game isn't gonna get it done. You're playing professional goalies. So like we have to screen. How many times do you see anybody screen? It never happens. It never
I
happens.
know. And you're not like only the elite of the elite shooters can beat a goalie clean lately. Like nowadays, like I feel like goalies are too good at saving unscreened shots.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you look at the goals that we give up, it's typically, especially on the power play, it's, let's see if we can visualize, let's see if I can visualize this. So we got our box going, like let's say the puck is on the right side, so our left side. A guy will receive the pass from the blue line, to the goal line and then rotate with that guy. You know, we don't do any rotation, by the way. We don't do any of that. Rotate with that guy, and then that leaves the PK confused, and suddenly there's a guy open in like the bumper area for a shot, and they score. That's how teams are scoring. Like teams are rotating the puck, they're rotating bodies, and I feel like we're just so. I guess is stagnant the word I want to use? Yeah, I think that's the word I want to use. It's just it's not it's not an NHL level power play like at all. And honestly, I feel like this has been going on since the Eichel days. Like I love Tage's one timers. I mean they're awesome and fun, but I kind of wish we didn't have a player that had a one timer like that because I would like to see what they do otherwise. Because that's I feel like is their only shot creation.
Well, and that's what's so frustrating. I mean, Tage is a good example. Like, I mean, Tage can dangle and has such great stick work where it's like if you get things moving or rotating, like you're saying, like you don't think Tage wants some more of those highlight goals? Like, it's just so frustrating because it's like it seems to be so clear that like this is the way things are being instructed, and we're not playing instinctively because we have guys who can move the puck on the power play. I mean, Quinn coming back, I don't know if he's getting. I think he is getting some power play time right now, but like
Yep.
hopefully he can help. But like Quinn, Paterka, Tage, like I mean even Benson, like these guys, like they have skill with the puck, and you're not utilizing it. Like if you take our power play and give it to just another team, like it's probably just astronomically better. And why is that? Same players, but you just have I don't know, just again better communication with between players and coaches, or just better coaching and design. I mean, that's what I'm led to believe.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the players have themselves to blame too because there so many guys on this team have been so disappointing, man. It's just like they're I like I feel like you're like someone like talking to like your kid and you're like I know you're not this bad. Like I know you're good. Like you're not like this, you know, like what is going on in your head that is making you play like this? Like I feel like we've done a lot of shitting on Owen Power this year, rightfully so because he's not been very good. But I gotta say, besides getting points, I don't think Rasmus Dahlin has been very good either. I think he has been the biggest disappointment of our season.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, Darlene has looked bad, and Powers looked bad, but that's the problem. Like all these guys have like noticeably regressed, and Darlene, like he's it's I said this about Power last week that when I called him old powerless, which which I'm still rolling with because the my so my frustration with Power right now is again I know it's only a second year and you're still getting used to things and whatnot, but my frustration with him is that I do question his effort. Like it looks like he gives up on some nights, and like I have seen like changes in body language and stuff. And like for a second year player, that's not what you want to see. Whereas like with Darlene, it just seems like again the same thing we kind of talked about, like just with the power play a second ago. Like it just seems like he's thinking too, and like he's playing his best when he's not thinking and he's just reacting and just seeing the play develop. And I don't know. It's just that is he's been a liability. He's definitely been a liability. He's definitely one of those guys where like when he makes a mistake, it costs him every single time. Like he's not
Yeah,
going to get a
it's
lucky break.
noticeable.
Yeah, it's noticeable
Like
because it's not just little stuff.
so there's been multiple times like I can picture him like having the puck in our corner with like ample space and just like fumble fucking the puck in the corner and then it ends up in the back of the net, you know. Or like even in the Boston game, so Boston gains the line like super easily. The puck goes behind the net. Darlene chases the guy from the front of the net to behind the net, and then the front of the net guy scores like an easy goal. And it's like,
Yeah.
why are you chasing the guy in the arguably the least dangerous position on the ice behind the net? Like, there's no reason to even give that guy time, like any effort of like your time. And he just chases him back there and leaves the front of the net wide open. And it's like, dude, like you're better than this. Like, what happened to the guy last year that was like one of the best play eliminators in the game and driving offense at like an elite Norris winning level? Like, what happened to that guy?
Do you think that part of Darlene and power. I mean, fuck, you could even lump in like Samson, all the defensemen. Like, do you think a part of their struggles is a lack of cohesion or strategy, whatever you want to call it, in trying to break the puck out? Because to me, it just seems like last year we did not have this much trouble breaking the puck out of our zone. And I wonder if we're doing something different right now, or there's just a lack of confidence when we're getting pucks behind our net or getting turnovers in our zone that we don't know where guys are going to be or where our options are. Like, I don't know. What's your temperature with that?
Well, it feels like it feels like sometimes we can break the puck out. And that's when our guys are, supporting each other. And when it happens, it works great. And other teams, I feel like other teams just know where they are at all times. Like other teams can break the puck out against us like hella easy. But for us, it really looks like our wingers blow the zone like really, really like early. And that leaves you with, no passing option for the defense. So what are you really going to do? And then what happens with that is we end up flipping the puck out of the zone like, in the air 20 times a game. And you're going to rely on like a 50-50 battle to win the puck? Like no, you want to you what made us so effective last year was our ability to go from our goal line to the opponent's blue line like that, like the snap of a finger.
Hmm.
Now that shit just doesn't happen. And that is why I think the system has been changed. The system 100% has been changed. And you can't just go back to last year. Like they've been talking about wanting to go back to last year, but you kind of can't do that. You can't. Like the players are already like it's ingrained in their mind that they have to do like this, and this in order to like
Hmm.
be effective. Like I know we want these guys to transcend the system, and maybe they're not good enough to do that.
Yeah, I wonder if so that's I agree with you completely in the fact that it's like you've been doing some. I mean, we're creatures of habit. If you've been doing something for so long and then all of a sudden you're just told like, all right, we got to stop and we got to do this now, like, okay, well, like you kind of have to learn that again. It's not like you can just snap your fingers, just be like, okay, we're gonna play like we did last year again. Like, but I wonder. I was trying to find it, and I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look around here a little bit more. But how many goals do you think this year we've scored like off the rush?
Honestly, dude, I feel like we're still getting chances off the rush, but only because other teams make a mistake. Like I don't know. I how is there? Did you find like a off the rush metric?
No, I'm not. I don't. I'll
You know,
keep
you
looking.
know
I don't
who,
know what website
you
I
know
would
who
use,
tweets that a
honestly.
lot. You know who tweets that a lot is Megan Chayka. She
Yeah,
tweets stuff like that all the time.
yeah.
I wonder
I
if I can
just.
find it while we're talking.
I mean, I guess the point I'm trying to make though is like what you were saying, where like there's definitely like a shift in the way that we're playing, and apparently we're going back to the style from last year because that's what's needed now. 36 games into the season, it took us that long to realize it, but it just that whole saying of like last year, or that whole thought process of just last year, these guys knew where their options were coming up the ice, and we were coming up together, and we were generating these rush chances, or we were having generating these offensive chances that weren't just dump and puck style plays, and it's just frustrating that we're not able to get any of that going this year. Like none of it. Like you start watching a
None, dude.
game, and within the first 10 minutes, you're already just like, it's just going to be another game because you can like this because you can just see that the guys have no like. It looks like there's like no game plan. To be honest.
Yeah, it's the most frustrating thing because I feel like we were going up and down. Actually, you know what game we did look like we were doing that in was the Toronto game. We were flying up and down the ice. But that's
Yeah.
one game in the last how many or like it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, and Toronto's defense. I mean, we've played good against Toronto every single game, and I know the boys get up for those games and whatnot, and they there's a little bit more intensity because it's Toronto and things, but like I don't know, we always I feel like we always score a bunch of goals against Toronto, and I don't know if that's I'm sure that's maybe us playing a little bit better, but also like Toronto not being good on defense also.
Okay, I found it. I found what she had. So Megan Chayka, follow her. She's amazing. She's an NHL analyst that like mainly focuses on analytics. So she's a great follow.
Here we go. Shout
Uh,
out Megan Chika.
yeah, shout out Megan Chayka. So she tweeted um this a couple weeks ago. It's the 2023-24. rush scoring differential, and goal save above expected. So we're gonna ignore the goal save above expected part because this is highlighting how many rush chances teams are getting. The Sabres currently are in the bottom third of rush chances given up, or rush chances created to given up. So we are giving up, a
Hmm.
fair bit of rush chances, and we are generating at a bottom third of the NHL level. And I don't think the talent level on this team, nor the speed, should be where we are. Like those players should not be generating at a level like that. So it really, like what you're seeing on the eye test is matching the numbers that we're just not generating at that level.
Well, yeah, and what's frustrating about that is that supposedly, I mean, all we heard for the first 30 games of the season was that where we need to be more focused on team defense. But then you hear statistics like that, and you see that we're 30th out of 32 teams as far as goals against goes, and it's like, well, clearly, like our change in style didn't actually affect the defense. Like the defense is still putrid, and and I'd say like the goaltending is like better than last year. Like it's not phenomenal, but like our goaltending this year is a step up from what it was last year. So you're literally playing poor defense on top of not generating as much offense. And now it's just a flip, a 180 that, oh, you know what? We're not going to focus on defense anymore. We're going to go back to offense. Like it's just like it's all over the place. It's like, how are you, if you can't even get your shit figured out in house? What do you expect is going to be the product on the ice?
Right, I agree completely, dude.
So that's extremely frustrating. But uh, I did want to touch base real quick too on the PK, because
Oh, can
you talked about it.
can
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
can I give you another number that I'm finding on her website?
Yeah, yeah. Is this Megan's again?
So yeah, so she has scoring chance differential per game. So at the top you have the Vegas Golden Knights with a 4.5. So the Vegas Knights per game are getting 4.5% or 4.5 more scoring chances than their opponent like on a game by game basis.
Right.
The Sabres are in the bottom six at a minus 3.67. So we're giving
So
up.
they're giving up almost four more scoring chances than we're generating
Yes.
with goaltending. That's I mean Levi's been
Mid.
okay, but like yeah,
It's
mid
mid at
exactly.
best. I mean,
Yeah.
you want to hear another fucking thing? And I'm cooking now on the numbers. Jesus Christ. So let's see. I got to find it real quick. Okay, so Dom Decision posted which goalies contribute the most to team success. This is, a number based off goalie performance that like this is how many standing points your goalie is worth. Devin Levi, actually positive. He's worth an extra 2 standing points. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen in the bottom fucking five. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen right now has cost us directly 6 standing points based off this metric. So
Ukapeka lock
not
him up or Ukapeka losing him.
so not only are we giving up chances at a ridiculous rate, the goaltending, unless you're playing Devin Levi and he's having a good Devin Levi game, you're gonna lose the game, dude. You're just going to.
So like in summary, what I'm hearing is what the coaches have been saying is not what we're seeing on the ice. And now we're
No,
switching it back to something that worked last year, but we should have never changed in the first place.
that
On
that is
top
basically the
of
story of the season.
on top of goaltending that's been mid, yet we're keeping three of them.
Dude, it makes no sense. Yeah, like Eric Comrie is not even a factor anymore. Eric Comrie is just here to ride the fucking. I almost said boat. Ride the boat. No, we do planes in this country. He's riding the plane, going from city to city. I bet he doesn't even have to dress. Like, just come in, get the team breakfast, do whatever you want. He doesn't even he's just like completely out of the picture. Like, and here we go again, man. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, I just want to get back to real quick. That I mean, those are all great stats. You're just absolutely cooking in the stat kitchen right now. But the one thing I didn't want to say, do you want to take a guess at what our so like when we were emphasizing this maybe a handful of weeks ago, like we were saying penalty kill was kind of like top 5%. Do you want to take a
Yeah,
guess at percentage right now where PK percent is at?
74.
78, so
Okay.
78%. And but
Where's that rank?
league average is 79. So I mean they're in, they're not even league average with the penalty kill right now.
I refused. Well, yeah, I want to know like what it is. I want. There's got to be a way to find like what it is from this date to this date because I want to know what it is from when our PK was a top five PK in the league to what it is now. Like
I'm
it's got
sure
to
there
be like
is.
71%, like running at a 71% rate.
You know what? I'm tweeting at Megan right now. I'll have that stat for it in a few minutes.
And we're shouting out all the analytics people on this one tonight because it's insane, man. It's just the numbers really do match how horrible they are.
Yeah, yeah. It's been interesting. It's been interesting. So like I said, it's tough because it's not like they had a horrible week. I mean, they grabbed, 3 out of 6 points against some really good opponents, but man, just with like everything that's going on, it's just you can't help but kind of laugh at the organization right now and just wonder like where things are headed. Like it's got to be frustrating for the players and the coaches, I guess.
Yeah,
All right, I think that's good. You know what? I want to before I think we can finish up Sabres talk unless you have anything else pressing. But I
I
want
got
to.
nothing. I
All right,
won't be back. I won't be back on the train, the positivity train, unless they win like six in a row.
all right.
And
I
even
want to.
even then, it won't do really anything for the standings.
Yeah, no, they literally gotta win like 10 in a row, and even then they still have to win like 70% of the rest of their games to get in. But I wanna read this. We shared this on our Twitter page, and I don't know. It's just kind of a good reminder of like where Buffalo hockey has been. And the reason I felt like sharing this on Twitter was because I feel like in the organization right now, specifically with the players, there's maybe some frustration with fans consistently booing them, maybe not feeling supported by the city of Buffalo and whatnot. And I'm reminded of last year when they were rolling and there was all these press clippings and all these videos and content pumped out about how, oh, we're excited to be bringing hockey back to Buffalo and we couldn't be more excited to be the team and the young core that's going to do that. And it felt like there was a real sense of purpose there, and I feel personally like that. Again, I don't want I'm not speaking for the players, this is just emotions, what I'm feeling, but it's hard for me to feel like that is still like a fire that's really burning inside them because I just am not
Yeah,
seeing that, right? And we posted this and it got a decent amount of traction, but I think it's just a reminder of like the good old days. And it's a bit long, but it's not. I mean, I'll get through it pretty quick, but I do want to read the whole thing because it's a really cool. This is what Ryan Miller said at his retirement night last year. He says, quote, "The rink was packed every night during those playoffs. I get goosebumps thinking back to it now. I remember the noise inside the building, the faces of the fans when we score a big goal. I'll cherish those memories forever. I wish we had gotten over the line one of those years and won a cup, but I believe that every guy in the room gave it everything he had. And I know Buffalo felt that because the fans gave everything too. The support just in the city when you'd see somebody at the grocery store and they tell you how much the Sabres meant to them and their kids was special. And it felt like I want to describe this correctly because there is something different about Buffalo. I've been fortunate enough to play in some great hockey cities with passionate fan bases, but a lot of big markets give you attention, coverage and talk shows and all that, but they don't give you connection. Some markets feel distant, but in Buffalo, I just felt like we were all on the ice together. We were all in the stands together. We were all in it together. It's almost like I almost want to cry reading that, dude, because it just reminds me of those days. I remember it. I mean, I remember going to games and just feeling that passion and that connection. It's so far gone right now.
I
It's
agree.
just
I completely agree.
you don't even like what's frustrating for fans and I'm sure for you and everybody is like last year you felt like you saw that light at the end of the tunnel and that was it. Just wrapped up in what Miller was saying. Like we were getting to those days again, and just playoff hockey and passionate fan base in Buffalo, and it's still there. And it felt like it's got ripped out from underneath us again.
Yep. And I don't know where we go from here. to be honest. It feels like it really only ends one way, and that's with a complete coaching staff clean out and multiple players off the roster and bringing in new blood.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
only it's not even New Year's, so we still have half the year to go.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll be back next week talking more Sabres, but I think we'll roll into what you want to do some Christmas stuff here
Sure,
first.
why not? Let's go.
All right. So, what was your top Christmas present this year?
My favorite gift this year, my wife surprised me with a fucking Apple Watch. Let's go. I've never had one before. It's amazing. I'm super happy with it. I've never really been a watch guy, but I kind of feel kind of sick getting a text and being like, "Oh shit," and just reading on my fucking watch. So, shout out to my wife. She's fantastic. She got me like a bunch of other stuff too, but this was my favorite gift by far. How about you?
You know what you gotta do? You gotta make sure you like. Do you have the Sabres alerts on there?
No, no,
Oh,
I don't have any on there.
I was gonna say, make sure you silent. If you did, you had to make sure you silence it during the game so you don't get like carpal tunnel from all the goals against just vibrating your wrist. But no, let's see. I got a favorite gift. Oh, okay. So I got two things to mention here. So I love Legos. I don't know if like
Yep.
I'm a big Lego guy. I got a whole stand set up in my basement with all my Harry Potter Legos. Those are mainly the ones I built. So I got a new Harry Potter Lego, which I'm pretty pumped to build. Apparently, there you've seen the movies or no?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's funny. I just had a conversation with my buddy John about how I haven't seen all of them. So, but yes, I've seen like five of them.
So Diagon Alley though, that's like the big like
Yeah. Yeah.
wizard
Yeah.
marketplace.
Yeah.
So apparently, their Lego is like creating like one shop every. I don't know if it's every year, every few months, whatever it is, and you'll be able to get them. And so like Katie got me the Weasley shop, like the joke shop, and it's a pretty big set. It's like 900 pieces. It looks pretty sweet. So that's I have a couple of the Diagon Alley buildings and shops right now, but I'm pumped to do that one. So that was kind of the big one, and then I got a Buffalo Bills can jam set.
Oh, that's fun. That's
Oh,
awesome.
dude, it was sick. So I was like, we were doing just like our yard like clean out over the spring or at the end of summer, I should say. And my can jam was just shitty. Like it was just bent from being left outside. Like the stickers
Yeah.
were peeling off, and I'm like, oh, I need a new one. And then I can't remember if it was me or Katie who found the Bills one. I was like, oh yeah, give me that. Yeah, it's sweet. It's got like white and yeah, it looks pretty sweet. So I'm pretty excited to use that with camping and shit.
Those are great gifts, dude. That's awesome.
All right, and then what you got? All right, let's do a couple New Year's resolutions, and then we can get into like maybe some Bills talk, kind of close things out there.
Okay. I got a couple New Year's resolutions that I'm carrying with me into 2024. Number one, number one, I already said this one doesn't count from earlier because I already said that I'm gonna help my wife with the Christmas presents this year. That doesn't count for what I'm about to say.
That's just an
My
honorable
number
mention.
one, yeah, this is number one. I am going to try my absolute best to make my coffee at home and not buy it. That is a
That's
small resolution that I
that's a
feel
good
is
one.
very attainable. I am a coffee drinker, and you know how painful it is to be spending $4 a day on a coffee?
Where do you
Like
go?
Timmy Ho's.
Okay,
Sometimes we go to Starbucks, and that's even more. So
you use the Tim Hortons app though, right?
I do. So you
So
generate those
you're
points.
yeah, okay, all right.
I think right now I have like 5,000 points because I have no
Oh,
idea how
dude,
to redeem them. I have
oh,
no
dude, it's
idea how to
so
redeem
easy.
them.
Oh my god, it's
You
so
got to
easy,
show me next time you're out because I don't understand this app at all. I don't
dude. Free
understand the
coffee is
reward
only
levels.
500 points. You got like 10
I
free
don't,
days of coffee right there. It's two
I
weeks.
don't understand. I don't understand their fucking reward levels at all. But that is my small resolution. I'm gonna make my coffee at home. I'm gonna make it at home.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
What give me one. Give me one of yours.
All right, dude. Mine are like pretty standard. Like not
Okay.
I'm not like going out of the box with this. These are just like I
Give
feel
me
like
one. We'll go back and forth. We'll go back and forth.
yeah, these will be like 90% of like everyone like in America's like resolutions, I'm sure.
Well,
But my
basic bitch
number one,
resolutions.
yeah, oh yeah, 100%, 100%. But I didn't want to overthink it. But number one, dude, It's eat better. It's just eat better. Like I eat
I
like
could have said that
absolute
too.
shit. I
Me
eat
too.
so bad, and I have been eating a lot of fast food lately. Like I gotta get out. You know why, dude? Okay, so I don't
Yeah.
live
You have
or
a fucking like 2-year-old that wants nuggets every day.
well, that's part of it. That's part of it. But I work now. I moved. I'm with the same company, but I'm at a new location, and now I'm close to a Mighty Taco, and I have been crushing the Mighty because I have not been by it. So that's part of it. But no, I just got to stop eating the fast food and just like buying better food and shit. So that's definitely up there because I feel better like when I am. Even if I'm doing just light workouts and eating better, like I feel better, but I just don't do that consistently enough.
I'm gonna, you know, fist bump you on that one, brother, because I definitely need to do the same thing. Like, you know me, you know my build. My build is very disappointing for how short I am. I feel like a fucking bowling ball sometimes. So I can always just, lay off the fast food. It's just so simple and easy. And name a place. I love that place. That's my favorite place. Name any place. That's my
Tully's.
favorite place to go. Fuck yeah, Tully's chicken tenders. Bomb.
Applebee's.
Applebee's. I don't fuck Applebee's. That place is terrible.
They have
No,
like mid food, but their
I'm
service
talking
is
fast
so
food.
bad.
I'm not talking restaurant. I'm not talking restaurant. I'm talking.
Oh, Chick-fil-A.
Oh, you want to go? Oh, fuck! I will crush a Chick-fil-A and a large fry. Popeyes, same deal, same fucking deal. Taco Bell, the fact that they put one up on Walden is my worst nightmare because I'm gonna go there every goddamn day.
Taco Bell
Like it's just,
breakfast.
yeah, I've never had it. Always wanted to try it. Maybe I should.
Never had
But
it.
everyone that knows my build, you're a little fat fuck and you need to change. So this is my call to change.
So are we gonna be each other's support system then? Text each other what we're having for breakfast, what we're having for lunch.
Yeah, we should because I've tried all the apps. I've tried like the tracking your food apps and shit. That does not work out. That does not work. And honestly, with all the walking I do, I'm just not like I'm not, my energy level. I can't do the gym. I just can't. With all the walking I do, it's impossible. So I maybe I'll come home and lift a couple weights every now and then, but it's just something's got to change there. So I agree with you. But
You know, dude, you know what's gonna happen? We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this, and it's gonna be like 2 months in, right? It'll be like beginning of March, and we're just gonna be like pissy as fuck on the podcast because the Sabres suck, and we're eating like good food, and
and
people are gonna be like, guys, the
I haven't
listeners
had
are gonna be like, guys, please go eat some fast food.
I haven't had a McDonald's nugget in 3 months, and I want to kill someone over it. We'll see. I mean, that's better. I've said that. I've literally said that New Year's resolution for probably like I'm 31 now, so probably for the last like 13 years of my life, I'm like I should eat better.
Yeah,
That'll never happen. But my second New Year's resolution. I hope our wives are going to listen to this. I am. I'm going to try not to get mad at sporting events. I'm going to try not to get mad. If they lose, it's whatever. It's fine. Except when the Bills lose in the playoffs, maybe I'll get a little mad. But I'm gonna try to not like let it be visibly irritating to me because I feel like sometimes the Sabres will have a shit loss and I'm just like I'm pissed off, and I'm gonna
oh
try to
yeah, for
not
sure.
let that happen.
Yeah, so you know what's funny about that? I gotta shout out my buddy Mike, who also listens to the show on this. He brought up a good point. He's a Miami Dolphins fan, and
Ew! Ugh!
I know, but he's a great guy, great, absolutely great guy. One of my favorite people in the world, and he'll do anything for you. But so, anyways, so he was saying how he was talking to me the one day about the Bills and Sabres, whatever, and he goes, if the Dolphins won a Super Bowl this year, he's like, my life doesn't change. He's like, I still come to the same job. He's like, it's like nothing like it changes for those players, yeah, but like my life is still the same. And I was just like, it kind of like hit me. I'm like, that's true. I'm like, why do I let this? I'm like, it's not even like I'm out there like doing my job bad or anything. Like it's just like, all right, like as much as I love sports, it's like it's not. it's not that important, you know. And I that's
Yep.
something I can definitely work on too. But he said that to me, and I was just like, oh, that's kind of an interesting like perspective. Like,
Yep.
sure, if the Bills won, like we'd be like, oh, finally, like, oh, we got it. But like, what does it change in my life other than like being in an argument with someone on Twitter and being able to say like we finally have one? Like nothing else
Right.
changes.
I know. Yeah. So that's a pretty good perspective to have. I feel like that's the Joe Marino perspective.
Oh yeah, Joe Marino for sure.
He's like really good at staying water and like being level like that.
He's like the most level headed guy, but he's also like I feel like
The
that
smartest
dude.
guy.
Yeah, but he's like I feel like he's just so regimented. Like this dude wakes up and he's just I feel like his brain's already like working on his daily routine an hour before he wakes up.
I know it's insane, man. I can never be like him.
All right, my other one here. What is my other one? Oh yeah, dude, my other one is just simple, and it's just to be smarter financially. And when
Yeah,
I say this, for me, it's just like it's not like I said, I'm not wasteful with my money, but I just feel like I could be a little bit more in tune to like just like bills and just like taking a peek at my bank accounts like every so often. Like
you don't take a peek at
it's
all.
I no, I mean I will, but for the most part, I'm just like, all right, well, like I know it's like it's no big deal, like it's fine, like I don't have to like go and see how much is in there, but that's what it is. Like it's not necessarily like wasteful spending because I don't do that. Maybe Katie and all the Amazon packages she
I
gets.
was gonna say this might be a shot at the wives here.
Yeah, but no, it's just more just like kind of paying attention to things a little bit more, trying to get a little bit more organized, you know, maybe look into a little bit more of retirement shit. Like again, all that stuff set up, but I think just like trying to understand things a little bit more and just becoming a little bit more in tune with all that stuff. So,
Yeah, I feel the same way because for a while I'm like, oh, I should set up like a high yield savings account. That way, if I like put money in it, I'll get money like off what's the word when you get like a percentage of money. There's a word for that I forget, and someone's gonna reply and say. But just stuff like that. Like I feel like financially too, it's like for us, we have great jobs, and it's still like holy shit. Sometimes we gotta like move money around to pay a bill and then move it back when we get paid. So like I definitely feel you where, and it might be like the economy nowadays too, is
oh, it
tough
is, yeah,
because like groceries are so expensive and everything is just so expensive. Like I can't. I say it all the time to Lexi. I'm like, I don't know how like you guys like operate with a young family like that. And well, when we're like, we probably make like similar money, and it's like it feels impossible sometimes. So
yeah. The
I
economy
feel
is
you on like
brutal.
I feel you on the financial. I want a little bit more financial freedom where I don't have to feel restricted.
Yeah, and it's just more like awareness. Because like I said, the other thing is like we'll have like these weeks where like I'll like look, I'm like, oh, that's not quite where like I thought it would be like right now,
Exactly, dude.
and then
And
it's
like there
just
are
like,
times, dude. I do that all the time. I'll log in and I'm like, all right, yeah, we probably have like $1,500. Whatever. We paid all our bills. We probably have. I'll look and it's like you have 385. I'm like, holy shit! Like
yeah,
what? What happened? Yeah. So
yeah,
I feel yeah. I
yeah,
feel yeah.
just a little bit more awareness, a little bit more alertness when it comes to stuff. So, all right, so quick Amerks here. You got anything else or no?
I got nothing else. I'm sure like next week after the new year I can think of some more shit that I want to do to change for the positive, but I can't really think of anything else right now.
So we'll just do Amerks here real quick. So Amerks are they're hitting a bit of a cold stretch here too. They haven't been playing their best hockey. Yuri Kulik is so congrats to him. He's obviously we mentioned it last week. He's playing with Czechia. He just had a hat trick, but they're obviously missing him and some of his offensive production. But they're fourth place in the North Division right now, 13-11-2. There's absolutely, I mean, you thought defense was poor in Buffalo. Like, defense is way worse in Rochester. There's no defense in Rochester. 88 goals for and 108 goals against. So they actually have the
Holy
most.
shit.
Yeah, so they've allowed the most goals in the league with the exception of the Laval Rocket, who I'm pretty sure are like in dead last. So, yeah, so they're hanging afloat, but that's mainly because of their hot start. They've been kind of coasting here as of late.
Yeah, I mean, I'm even checking into the games. Like, I'll turn them on for every so often, and or like I'll check the box score after a game and it's like, oh, they lost like 7-2 or they lost like 7-4. I'm like, holy shit, man. So
Yeah.
they're not really. I feel like defense is optional in this organization currently.
Yeah, it's yeah, and throughout the whole, right, from the Sabres all the way down, it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, whatever.
Do you
Um,
want to touch on something cool the Amerks are doing coming
yeah,
up?
dude. So like I've I've had this plan on the show doc for like every show for like the past 2 months, and we've just been like ranting so much about the Sabres that it's just the shows have been too long. I feel like we've done a pretty good job of keeping the show a little bit. I mean, it'll be a little bit shorter this week, but there
I mean,
hasn't
not
been.
really. We're already an hour and 10 minutes in.
I know, but it's been a little bit more like fun stuff, not as much like dreadful Sabres talk. But, anyways, yeah. So the Amerks, like, I wanted to talk about. They're doing something cool, which it's like sensory friendly nights. And when I saw this, I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting because I know family members and friends of friends who have um, just people that who have maybe sensitivity to increased stimulation or hypersensitivity, sensory
Right.
disorders, things like that. So it's
Yeah.
just a kind of a cool thing that they're doing. And just to make the gaming experience a little bit more inclusive. So I wrote down a bunch of shit, and they had one of these nights already back in November, and they got an upcoming game on January 17th, and then the third sensory friendly night is March 20th. So they got two more games, and there's a ton of shit. I'm just gonna kind of go through
Yeah, I want to hear about this because
quick.
it sounds very cool.
Yeah, so every guest, if you want, gets a sensory bag, and the sensory bag includes noise canceling headphones, earplugs. You get sunglasses, communication cards, and then like sensory focus toys. So like that's pretty cool already. Like you walk in and you can like get, some of this stuff just kind of already gifted to you. And then as far as like the game experience goes, like what they're doing to kind of decrease like stimulation throughout the arena and things. So music levels are lowered, so not like high volume all night. There's no goal horn, no flashing lights, and there's dimmer lighting. So things throughout the stadium that they're trying to kind of all again kind of just reduce that sensory load for some people who want to maybe come to a game but don't want all that loud noise or bright lights, all that type of stuff.
I
So
love
it's
that, man.
just
I mean, that's great for like the people that are sensitive to that thing, and also great for the little kids. Like if you want to take
yeah.
your little one to a game, like at that young, want to like, have her go to her first ever, like not her first ever game because you've obviously taken her, but like now that she's like a little older, like two, three ish, you can kind of do that, especially on one of those nights where it's like, okay, well, it's not going to be like it's going to be loud, but it's not going to be like too loud for her. You know, that's fantastic. I love that.
Yeah, it's cool. And then there's one other thing, which I think is the coolest thing, and especially good for the little kids. Like if they're getting bored and stuff, there's a whole sensory room. And dude, listen to the
Oh,
shit that's in the
interesting.
sensory room. There's so much stuff. So there's blue light coverings, white noise machines, LED light cubes, lava lamps, sensory body sacks, a bouncing ball with handles, caterpillar tunnels, sensory bags, fidget sensory toys, and a large weighted sloth lap covering. Like a ton of shit, just like
Wow.
in one room. Yeah, yeah. So kind of cool. I don't know.
I think that's great.
I saw this when they posted about the first one a couple months ago, and I was like, oh, I want to definitely mention this on the pod because it's just a cool thing. And like I said, anything that can make this sport a little bit more inclusive and maybe get some people to come out to the arena when they wouldn't normally feel comfortable doing so. That's in my book. That's awesome.
Yeah, I really like to hear that, and I like that most organizations now are doing some stuff like this. It's always great to have like the inclusivity in hockey, be maximized.
Yeah, for sure. So just
And
again, if you're interested in this, the next game Wednesday, January 17th, and then also March 20th. Those are the two upcoming games left on the schedule that'll do this.
nice, dude. I want to touch on something around the league. Actually, I don't want
Yeah,
to touch
yeah,
on anything really around the league. I just want to say, go Yotes. That's my bandwagon team. So I'm gonna try to stay up as much as possible and watch my Coyotes, and I know you're gonna try to watch as much as your Canucks. Listen, if the Sabres are bad, we got to jump on a different bandwagon. This is just it's too much misery.
yeah. The Canucks are playing the Flyers tonight, so it's
Oh, I'm
zero
gonna tune in.
zero end of the first. So yeah, I'll be
I'll tune
watching.
in after we're done.
Plus the Canucks, like I mean, they're fun to watch, but they were my boys. I called them to make the playoffs, so like it's for me, it's a double dip.
Great. Yeah, they're playing fantastic.
All right, man, sounds good. Well, what do you want to do here? Do you want to get into Bills at all? Do you want to end it here, just
I
kind of close
yeah,
things out, or?
no, let's talk about the Bills. Let's give like, 10 minutes to the Bills before we shut her down here.
Oh, dude,
Because I
I mean,
feel
I
like
could give an hour to the Bills. They're fucking rolling right now.
we haven't really talked Bills a whole lot on this podcast. And
No,
I
we
feel
haven't.
like
We forgot.
it
We
was
used
kind of
to.
like yeah, because we were bitching about Ken Dorsey and it was fun to scream about.
Yeah, that's true. That's
But
true.
so this Sunday we play the Patriots, and the fact that we have gone from having like a 17% chance at making the playoffs to now the New York Times has us at like over 90% to make the playoffs and a 98% to make the playoffs if we win against the Patriots on Sunday, which, I think we will. It just goes to show how, the guys in this organization are so resilient and they're just great at what they do. And for all the shit that like McDermott got and like the coaching, like it just goes to show that when you back a leader and you might not agree with him all the time, and he probably has his people in the organization that don't like him, but when that guy has the motivation to, hey, like say we're gonna turn this around and do all that, and a quarterback like Josh Allen behind you, anything is truly possible.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I think the last time we talked about the Bills was like, I don't know if we mentioned them last week or a couple weeks ago, and I remember saying kind of like what you were just talking about, how like McDermott again, although he's had his share of fuck ups, and where there's question marks about him being able to get us over the hump, like there is no doubt that historically, when the Bills have had their backs against the wall and they've needed to get wins, they've done it, and that speaks to a good leader and being able to rally the troops. And you kind of want that a little bit more with our hockey team too, right now. But yeah, I mean they've been rolling, and to think that they were out of the playoff picture, the 11th seed just a couple weeks ago, and I guess we got to talk about the luck they had over the weekend. I know Miami didn't
Dude,
didn't win, but every other team they needed to lose lost. So I mean, it was a
it's
great weekend for the
insane.
Bills.
The last couple of weeks have been absurd. The fact that I might sneeze. I think it's gonna go away. I think it's gonna go away. The fact that the fact that like if we win on Sunday, no, when we win on Sunday, there's a chance that if other teams lose, we can clinch a spot before week 18
Yeah, that's
is
crazy.
crazy to me. Crazy. And the fact that if we win and Miami loses to Baltimore, who is fighting for the 1 seed, so they both are. So they have things to play for.
Hmm.
If that happens, our week 18 game against the Miami Dolphins is for not only the division, but likely the 2 seed. You
That's
never
gonna
would
be
have
nuts.
guessed. Never would have guessed the Bills were in the running for the 2 seed, a month ago.
Yeah, so here's my predictions with all that, because I was saying a couple weeks ago, I don't know if I've ever formally said this on the podcast, but I know I've said this to you, that when we were 7-6, I was still feeling confident because in my heart of hearts, I knew that there's no way that Roger Goodell and the NFL want the playoffs to happen without Josh Allen in the playoffs. And since then,
We love the Goodell conspiracies.
but since then, everything has gone according to plan, and Allen's sitting in a playoff spot now. And so I feel, to again double dip on this, I am 100. I can say this with 100% certainty that the Baltimore Ravens will beat the Miami Dolphins this week, because the NFL wants Week 18 to be Bills Dolphins for the AFC
Sunday night
Championship,
football.
or for the
Sunday
AFC
night
East.
football.
Yep, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So you heard it here first, folks. NFL wants Allen in the playoffs. We're good. As long as Allen's in Buffalo, we'll be in the playoffs. We're good for many,
So
many years.
I'm gonna check the schedule right now. I think we play at 1 o'clock on Sunday, and I think Miami plays at 1 o'clock. Do you know that for a fact, or am I just guessing?
I don't know
Okay,
that
I
for a
just looked.
fact, but
I just looked. 1 o'clock. So
yeah.
by 4:30 on Sunday, we'll know. We'll know what's going on. But so usually when the Bills aren't playing or they had a 4 o'clock game, I've been like watching Red Zone. I was kind
Dude,
of
what?
hoping I could do that. I was kind of hoping I could do that again because I want to see all the phantom DPI penalties that are going to get called on Miami this year or this game just to make Baltimore win.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Well, okay, let me ask you this. This is just a little bit of an off-topic thing, but like, do you think it's a little bit ridiculous that Lamar Jackson is like so like he had like again, I know they're 12-3 and they beat San Francisco,
I
but
know
like,
exactly where this is going.
dude, he had somewhat of a pedestrian game. Like I'm looking right now, like he was completion percent or so he was 23 of 35, right? So that's probably like 65%, 65% completion percentage for 252 and two touchdowns, 105 rating. So that's like not a bad game. He had 45 rushing yards, but like again, that's like a standard game for Josh, even like a lower end game for Josh sometimes. And like he's nowhere statistically near Lamar, but like Lamar won this game on Monday night, and like, dude, you could just give him the MVP trophy already. People were
Listen,
just like fucking
I got
going nuts for it.
so many things to say about the MVP. For some reason, I don't know what it is. Josh Allen is just judged at like a completely different level. I don't understand. It might just be because he's our guy and I'm super sensitive to it, but
Dude, okay,
the guy
real quick before you
is
go on, I opened up the ESPN app literally like an hour before we come on, and the video I see, and the headline is Bart Scott explains why Josh Allen
fuck
and
him.
Bill's window is
No,
closing.
no, don't even say it. Don't even say it. Bark Scott, complete clown. ESPN hires these fucking idiots. They're horrible. Don't listen to ESPN. They're terrible.
And you
Besides
know
like
what?
Mina
When we win the
Kimes.
Super Bowl,
Besides Mina Kimes,
all I'm gonna say
she's
is
amazing
can't wait.
and cute. Yeah, can't wait. Yeah, besides don't listen to like ESPN besides like Mina, she's amazing and cute. Like besides that, that's whatever. Listen, Josh Allen has 40 fucking touchdowns. Okay? Lamar Jackson has 24 fucking
Yeah,
touchdowns.
yeah,
Not even in the same stratosphere. He Allen has the most touchdowns in the league this year. He routinely carries our team. He has people are citing his record. Okay, Josh Allen has left the defense with 2 minutes to go with a lead 3 times this year. Three
yeah.
times we've had the
Right.
lead
Oh, that's
because of
true.
Allen
That's a
leading
good
us.
point. Yeah.
The record is not on him. People are like, oh, but he throws interceptions. Yeah, because we fucking throw the ball 45 times a game. He
Yeah, I mean
throws it
Brock
more than
Purdy just
anyone.
threw four.
Right. Josh Allen has never thrown 4 interceptions in a game ever in his career. He doesn't even lead the league in interceptions. He's like second or like third. He's going to have a high amount of interceptions because he puts the ball in harm's way. But that's also why we love him. Like every time he throws a dumb pick, it's like, well, next series he'll probably do the same shit and it's a 45-yard completion. So you really just take the good with the bad here, and there's far more good than bad that outweighs Josh Allen. I wouldn't if I was running a team, and I'm not even being hyperbolic here. If I was an NFL owner, and for some reason every single player in the league was in a pool, and you could pick one player to start your franchise with, Josh Allen is the guy that I'm starting my franchise with. Like
Yeah,
you,
especially
not
because like
even
Mahomes is
not even a
such just a
question.
whiny bitch.
You could not even a question. Perfect guy off the field. Did you see what he did
Yeah.
off the field this week? Did I show you? Did I send it
I
to you?
I think Katie said he called like a kid that he didn't like acknowledge at the game, right? And said he was
Yeah,
gonna give him some shit.
this kid, this kid had a sign, like, some sign for Josh, and he's doing his little thing where he's shaking people's hands, blah, 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 after the game. Misses this kid completely. Obviously, this kid feels like shit. The PR team points it out, gives him, finds out their phone number. Alan fucking calls the family, FaceTimes the family, talks to the kid, says, hey, I'm sorry, bud. I'm going to send you some stuff. Amazing. Amazing. Amazing guy out there. I sounded like a former president there. Our former guy was just like amazing, amazing. Everything is fantastic. But that's how Josh Allen is, man. Like he's just great off the field, and great on the field. So I really think he should be the MVP. How do you feel about that?
Dude, I mean I agree. Like he's got more touchdowns than like teams in the league. Like it's absolutely insane. But
That's
here's the thing
insane.
too, like if he because I feel like the big argument against it right now is like, oh, like he might just like they might just sneak into playoffs in a wild card. It's like, dude, if they win their next two games, like they could very well get the 2 seed and like be AFC's champions, and then like that changes things. But like the bottom line is like he shouldn't have to do that to finally get it. Like he's already had an MVP season, and
Yep.
I think 2020 was the year Rodgers got it, and it arguably should have went to Allen that year. But I mean, the guy is MVP for all the reasons you said. I mean, if you take Allen off the Bills, like they're they're done.
They're
You know,
winning like 5 games.
yeah, exactly. Also, like this is just a random thought I had here, but like this is the year he was on the Madden cover, and everyone thought
Yep.
he was going to be cursed. And I'm wondering if there was, if anyone's listening, can you could let us know. I wonder if an athlete has ever won MVP the year they've been on the Madden cover, because it's usually a
Yeah,
curse.
it was literally Mahomes last year.
Was it?
I think he won the MVP and the Super Bowl.
Was he on it last year?
Yeah.
Okay, well, screw Mahomes. Like he doesn't even exist in my mind.
He's an
But before,
outlier. He's an outlier. It doesn't matter. But yeah,
no, no. John Madden was on it last year.
oh yeah, because he died.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm pretty sure Mahomes was on it the one year he was.
Mahomes was on it on 2022 and
And they
2022.
won. Okay, they won the Super Bowl.
But was he MVP?
I don't remember.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
All right, NFL MVP 2022.
Patrick Mahomes. All right, fuck him.
Yeah, so listen, he's an outlier. Like that doesn't matter to me. Like Mahomes is Mahomes. Like he's obviously a freak. But what you're saying is it has been done before. So like, he could be the second guy to do it.
Yeah, whatever. But he's still the first in our hearts, so whatever.
It is kind of crazy. Like props to the whole team too. Like our offensive line is one of the best in the league. Like imagine, what we were saying for years. Like imagine Josh Allen with an offensive line. Like
Yeah,
they're
the offensive
incredible.
line's been good.
And now we're like running the shit out of the ball. Like we actually have a running game too, and that's super exciting. And for all the defensive injuries we've had with our big three of Milano, Trey White, and Daquan Jones, who is back this week, that's huge for us.
That is crazy.
But despite all that, and despite like the end of game collapses, I feel like they've been pretty goddamn good for like multiple weeks in a row now.
Yeah, you gotta give McDermott a lot of credit for that. And I mean, and also, I mean, yeah, like you said, James Cook just fucking dummying people out in the field, just literally dummying people out there. It's just he's just been going off. So he's ascended, he's leveled up, which is good. So yeah, at least we got something good going here in Buffalo.
So yeah, fuck the Patriots. We're gonna whip them on Sunday, and shit, we might have a playoff berth clinched already, but I want the division. I want the division so bad. I want it so bad so I can talk crazy amounts of trash on Twitter. I'd want it.
Hey, well, you heard it
I
here
want,
first. It's 100% happening.
all right.
All right, so let's go ahead and close things out there. Unless you had anything else you want to get off your chest here before we.
I got nothing. I hope that we can have some positive hockey talk. Like I know like the season's kind of cooked, but I just want some positive things to talk about. So I really
Yeah,
hope that we get wins in our next two here.
yeah. So we got two. It'll just be two games before we talk next. So that's back to back over the weekend. So we got um, this Saturday at 5 o'clock against Columbus. That's going to be at home again. So hopefully they don't have another disaster like before. And then Sunday against Ottawa. So a couple winnable games here. And like you said, I fear it's already kind of too late. But I mean, let's see if they can. Let's see if they could just win. Just win two. Just win two games back to back. And I think we'll at this point in time we'll take that.
I have one more football thing to add before we end.
All right, wait. Before you do that, are you predicting that they finally win back to back games here before we speak next week, or are we going 1-1, 0-2?
We're winning two in a row.
Oh my god, you optimistic motherfucker! This is the time of the schedule that you said gets easier. So I mean, Columbus, they can't lose to Columbus again, and then Ottawa.
And
I mean,
Ottawa, who's just as bad as us. I mean, come on.
I hate to say it.
All
I
that
hate to say it,
all that
but
fucking all that yapping that we did in the offseason. Oh, us and Ottawa, we're gonna be, that's the team we gotta beat. Us, Ottawa, and Detroit.
I
We're all
just, dude,
terrible.
I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I'm gonna say one and
Okay,
one until we
okay,
speak next.
makes sense to me.
They've just shown me
Uh,
who they are too many times.
okay, I'm gonna introduce a new segment here, and we're gonna do it like we're gonna do it like actually on the pod every week. This is my goofball of the week. Okay, this is my goofball of the week. My goofball of the week is Jamar Chase. Did you see
Oh,
what he said
I
in
did, I
practice?
did. Yeah, yeah. Let's say it
He
anyway.
goes, the Chiefs got nobody on defense. It's not like they got a Jalen Ramsey. Bro. Why would you say that? You are a goofball. L'Jarius Sneed's gonna lock you the fuck up, and it's gonna be like, bam, it's over for you. Like goofball of the week, Jamar Chase, our first goofball of the week.
Yeah, okay, I like this segment, but is Legarius Sneed that good? I don't even know.
Yeah, he's incredible. Like
Okay.
if the Bills threw money at him in the offseason, I would be hype. He's awesome.
I don't even think Jalen Ramsey is like a stud,
I don't either.
anyways.
I don't
But
either. He's just got name recognition.
yeah, Chase
All
is
right, so next week you got to come at me
he's
with your goofball.
all right. All right, sounds good. I mean, we got plenty of options on the Sabres, so all right, all right. Well, that's gonna do it for today, dude. We are just consistently like an hour and 28 minutes, an hour and 29 minutes. It's so funny.
I know. I love that. I love that it's like 45 minutes to an hour of Sabres, and then we just fuck around for the last half hour.
Well, that's gonna do it for today. You already know if you're watching. Check us out here. Yep, we got the banner back there.
I got mine hung up over there. I just don't. I got to get like a whole new setup.
All right, you want to show us real quick? You want to rotate? You want to show us
Yeah,
your
let's see.
your
Let's
banner
see if
here?
I can. Let's see. Can you see? There it is.
There it
There
is.
it is, folks.
That's a nice little spot for it. I like it there. It looks
I know.
nice.
I like it.
So you already know at Sabres Spotlight. Follow us on Twitter. I'm gonna say it again. If we go 2-0, the old loose leaf's coming back. We'll see you back here next week if we go 2-0 before. But Ryan, go ahead and if you want to plug your Twitter.
All right, follow me at RMC1492.
And I'm at Matt Walsh PT, but again, I pretty much run our Twitter handle for the show, so that's pretty much where you're seeing me there. Which, by the way, I saw you sneak in a tweet. You don't tweet much from the account, but I saw you
I
sneak
did.
in
I
a tweet
snuck
here
one
this
in.
week.
I logged in and fired one off from the account.
It was good. It was good. I liked it, but I was like getting alerts, so like people were interacting with it, and I was like, "What is this tweet? I didn't send this."
I didn't say anything because I knew that would happen. I wanted to see what you'd say.
Yeah, that shit was funny. But yeah, I'm like, all right, well, that's cool. Ryan got on there and got a little bit of love. But yeah, so follow us there. Again, it's on YouTube now if you want to watch us there. And then the email address is in the show notes too. If you have any questions or feedback for us, go ahead and send them there. But that is going to do it for us today. And we will see everybody next week. Good luck to the Bills and Sabres until then. See you, everybody.
See ya.